Hello, my dear ones. I'm trying to get caught up here. Oh, that's impossible. Tricia, I love this book. A Nurse's Guide. This is a 25-year-old nurse, 25-year nurse that learned the truth, and she's quit nursing now and gone into her own world of healing and yoga and all kinds of cool consciousness stuff. Just love it, love it, love it. Thanks for the beautiful card, sweetheart. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Beautiful book. Like I said, we'll be happy. We're stabilizing right now. We got cool things coming for you. And so I want our school library to handle all your books if you want us to, help sell your books for you. Because anytime you write a book from your heart and your beingness, this world needs to hear it. This world needs to read a little more. That's all I used to do. It's kind of hard for me now, I'll tell you. So much research, so much going on. Yeah! I get a little burned out sometimes, you know. But beautiful book. Love it, love it, love it. Beautiful, powerful you. And that's the whole thing. I tried to teach you guys that you are the ones. The buck stops with you. You're the individual guiding your journey down the road. If you're bumping with too many people, you're opening your doors too much. And you don't want to visit the psychic worlds in that way. You want to control the psychic worlds. Yeah. Okay, this is good for this. And I want to catch up on these questions that you have because we got a whole bunch more. And I know it's like that one lady we talked about the other day with the syncope and the heart pauses and the bradytachy's and that. If you really have this level of problems, you need to get on the horn and call the health clinic here. And we're right here with it. And one way or another, you're going to get help because these are serious things going on out there, you know. You don't want to croak. But, you know, again, you're on a journey and leaving one body, getting another one is, like Dr. Jensen told his wife in a psychic communication, just like walking across the street. So we fear a lot of things we don't understand because we've been so locked in and so, you know, physicalized. Like some people are so mentalized and others are so emotionalized. So this person is asking for a friend, a male, Australia, 55, 5'9", cancer of the mouth. Oh! Yeah, but boy, when you get cancer of the tongue, there's nothing more painful. Oh my God. But in the mouth, you can use Heal All Tea. Walk around half the day with Heal All Tea in your mouth. And you have to be careful, pretty astringent, and make sure your mouth is alkaline. In other words, get some sodium and bicarb, baking soda, aluminum free, and wash your mouth out after that. Keep your mouth as alkaline as you can get because, again, their word cancer is an acidic condition, a very stagnant lymphatic acidic condition, and the cell just getting bumped from it. You can't look at the cell and blame the poor little cell. That's their downfall. These guys are living in outer space. What damages a cell? And that's where you have to get into the interstitial fluids, which, there's only two. That's pretty hard. And one is water, one is lipid-based. That makes sense because the blood is electrical and ionic and needs to get ATP and all the goodies to you, right? But then what about acids? Who deals with acids? And that's going to be your lipids. I refer them to as the big mamas. They sit on you. Okay, you are absolutely amazing. Oh, thanks, man. I love you too. Thank you for taking this question. It is really appreciated. Oh, listen, I'm just apologetic that I can't get to more of them quicker. But again, You guys are watching the videos. Think on your own. What are you going to do? Diet's number one, no matter where you have what the cancer diagnosis is. Your diet's number one. You've got to change the chemistry you're swimming in. And that's look at what you're breathing, look at what you're putting on the skin, look at what you're drinking, but also look at what you're eating. This, for the world of allopathy to ignore that, for the illusionary concept of diseases is nerdy, crazy, and killing. It makes it a killing machine. And that's not what health is all about. Health isn't a killing machine. Health is turning it around the other way, right? Right. So that's number one. Think about where it is and how you can get access to the botanicals. Botanicals are the magics. They are the magics. Paul Twitchell wrote a book called Herbs and Magic Healers. And I was heavily into them in those early 70s. And it just, I've taught that for 52 years. The magic of herbs. And the right herbs working together, man, they're like buddies. Like all of us working together. We work together as one. Even though we're individuals, you never lose that in creation, or you lose your freedom. You become socialistic or communistic or whatever you want to call it. You become a globalist who wants you to lose your freedom, but they want to maintain theirs. Really? They're so locked in these, they don't realize the karma from this sort of stuff is very deep. And some of these astral places these guys go are pretty gnarly. I'll just never forget the place they sent me once just to show me just what happens. And it's like, I've never felt fear that dominated your beingness. My friend has recently completed 8 weeks of... shit. 8 weeks of radiation and chemo treatment for mouth cancer, the docs have said was caused by a virus. Forgive me, but these docs are cuckoo, loco. I mean, seriously loco. That is just such a lie. And the fact that, your cells are releasing these. The cells that are getting destroyed. So what's destroying a cell? Same thing. What's your mouth made of? Gums, lips, teeth. Cells and tooth fluids. All right. Okay. Everywhere you go, you find the same thing. So real important. This guy set himself way back. You didn't bring yourself forward. You're running more toward Hellville. And there's nothing there but deterioration of the whole mouth, the loss of the teeth. This is major. If he's not losing teeth already, he's gonna. This is gnarly and sick. Mouth is easy to get to, especially when you can do some topical issues like mouth, like a Heal All Tea and things like this to get in there and to help draw and move that lymph more from the mucosa. But you've got to go inside, and it's representative of what? This is just a part of your bowels. This is just part of the GI tract all the way out. So you got to get in there and work on that. But where's the problem? Lymphatic. I don't care if it's mouth, eyeballs, butt. It don't matter where it's at. You've got a bunch of cells and two fluids. And these two fluids are interstitial. In other words, the spaces around the cells. Now, I'm giving you a lot of analogies. I got a good one in the book coming up. I tell you, I apologize for the length of the fruitarian book, frugivore book, but it is very in depth. Whew-wee. I mean to tell you, we're working on it every day, to be honest with you. I had a little setback first part of this month, but outside of that, holy crap. It is very in-depth. The lymphatic book is going to be easy compared to that. I'm working on both books simultaneously, and the lymphatic book's going to be easy compared to this book. I'm deep into the lymphatic system, into the frugivore and why babies, elderly, animals, we're into the whole 9 yards because we're bringing diet forth to show you what happens when you don't follow a frugivore diet. And when a frugivore follows an omnivore diet, not so good. especially when the accent's on carnivorism. I love these people that say man is a carnivore. It's like these people have their head so far up somewhere the sun doesn't shine. But this friend of yours definitely took his car down the wrong road. You just destroy your mouth. And nothing's great when you see your mouth destroyed. Good example. Great example, right? Great example of what happens to acids in your mouth. All right? And that's where he's going if he's not careful. That's what acids do. And these acids that chewed her face off, basically, are cooler, more alkaline, if you will, than the acids they gave you. Uh-oh. Not good. It is really okay. He was in the military, and they injected everyone with all kinds of things, so it's not surprising. Well, so he's got to detox from all the vaccines, probably the COVIDs and stuff. This man's in trouble, and gotta really get focused. I hope he's still not in the military. I couldn't take but 2 years. You know, I'm pro-military, no question. But you've got these generals nowadays, I don't know how they got to be 5 and 4 stars except kissing somebody's hiney. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know, none of them are standing up protecting America's sovereignty. None of them. They're sitting there just kissing butt. And that's serious. You're charged, generals, with protecting the United States over a corrupt and wacky commander-in-chief. You get a commander-in-chief that doesn't remember his last name. That's serious stuff, man. You can't allow these things to happen. Sometimes the commander just goes off in a direction that you've got to kind of take some charge there. Look at what's happening now in this country. All the deaths from the illegals. Look at all what's going on. The rapes. We just had a rape from an illegal right down the road. So everybody here is getting locked and loaded. So it's going to be, be interesting. He always wanted to treat the cancer naturally as he avoids docs like the plague. However, it all happened quickly, and by the time he was diagnosed, he was too much pain. Too much pain, so he goes down the road of adding more pain. You know what kind of pain chemotherapy can cause you? Amazing pain. You're talking about an acid that's stomach acid, basically. And you know what happens when your stomach acid isn't neutralized? Ulcerations and, So he's got to pull out of that, gain his power back. You know, in your military, sometimes you sacrifice your power to these wackos. You got to get your power back, as he does, and start realizing that he's got to fix what he not only has to fix the cancer, or what they call cancer, he's got to, the lymph system, he's got to fix what they just did to him. And then all the vaccines that these guys get and all this crap. So yeah, you'd be best to take a narcotic and get on fruit and stuff like this and ride through it until you can pull that pain out, that acid out. But instead, they just gave you more acid. I mean, the pain from chemotherapy can be insane. He was too much pain and wasn't able to eat or swallow properly and was concerned would not be able to breathe. Very concernful. So the radiation, here's the problem with that. So you can shrink things back with radiation, but it's just going to explode on him even more. So this could come back as a raging bull. So you really want to get Heal All Tea, and start getting these anti-inflammatory herbs and things like this in. But where's the problem? Even if it's here, where's the problem? Here, the kidneys and adrenal glands. He's got to go to the lymphatic system. That's his sewer system. And his sewer system's backed up even in his mouth. Now chemo radiation is completed. He has begun drinking your Heal All Tea. Oh, cool. And I would, hold it in your mouth for a while. And then also bicarbonate to follow. Keep things alkaline. And we'll be starting on your Fab 4 and cleaning up his life and diet. Yeah, if I'm him, followed what he just did, I'm on total grapes. Total grapes. Eat all you want. Carry them around with you. Eat all the time. It don't matter. You know, just grape it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Or sugar. Some type of fruit. Given fruit is sugar, is it correct to starting on a high fruit raw diet? Well, it's fructose. And what's fructose good for? Oh, brain and nerve cells. Oh, thank you, Yale. I will say that I love some of these universities and some of their research is pretty cool. Some not so cool, but some of the research in these universities are pretty cool. When you start getting people paying for research, even 60 Minutes proved he who pays gets what they want out of the research. You know, it's like Harvard, you know, and all that was. They were also found, Harvard and Stanford were found guilty of changing their test results, their study results. I just think Harvard has decayed down to nothing. You just have decayed down to nothing. Serious problems when you're supposed to be a top university and you change your test studies to match whoever's paying. This is sick crap. And that's just where we're at. And when your educational system gone corrupt, where do you go, right? Montessori schools and everywhere you can that has some higher level teachings. He is unable to eat whole fruit due to mouth ulcers. Oh, I wonder. And also having all his teeth removed for the chemo radiation. Not that I told you so. Holy crap, man. I tell you what. Yeah, Jesus. So there's only one road to get well. And you're helping him on this road, and that's where he's got to go down it. You have him listen to this video, but boy, you're in trouble, man, to remove your teeth, and that's what it is. And what did you do? You put your road way on down to Hellville. You can use a lot of anti-inflammatory herbs and help with swallowing and everything else. Occasionally, there is a need for some radiation to reduce things so you can get past a certain way, but a little radiation is a lot easier to fix than systemic chemotherapy. Now you've damaged all kinds of cells head to toe. And being up here, you also got brain and all this to think about. So serious stuff here. Also, he's lost weight, his need to bulk up a little. Forget bulking up. Forget bulking up. You're in so much trouble right now. Forget bulking up. That's the last thing you want to think about. I don't care what your consciousness is. Your car's going to go down. And you're going to have to get a little skinny on this. So what? You got to fix your problem or, have a horrible way to die, especially in the mouth, because now the chemo's going to have a kick and the radiation's going to. Don't think you can drive your car down one way and not have physics involved. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Remember that. So the action was high acidosis and radiation. What the reaction to that is? What you already see, ulceration, the destruction of cells, because that's what destroys them in the first place. So go into a modality that uses the same thing that kills the cell and causes cancer cell to try to treat it. You don't think that's insanity? I do, but I'm just a country boy. What do I know? A simple, pure outline. Hell yeah, get on your detox program. And if you can afford it, at least for the first month. Because now you got worms you're killing, you got a nice focus there, you're after the liver, you're after all kinds of things. But you're after the lymphatic system and the kidneys. And that is number 1. With that, you can use definitely some mouthwashes with the Heal All tea and things like this. Hold it in there. Sit around, hold it in there for 5 minutes or something. Spit it out and take another swig. But very astringent, so do it off and on through the day. You can drink it as well, no problemo there. But also keep in mind, you want the bicarbonate. Sorry you had to lose your teeth, but you would have anyway. At the end of the day, he wants to keep it simple and just get it done. You want to keep it simple, my dear one, and get it done. Then you got to change your focus. And if you're military, then you're a strong focused, are you? See, how disciplined are you? Because this is real discipline when you have to change your ingestion. And by the way, you want to go after fungus quite heavily now. But you want to keep focused. You want to be on a fruit diet and grapes, live on them. Because and you want to keep it simple, and then a simple herbal program. That's all you need. Because you're after one system in the body that's causing all this problem. You don't need a bunch of goopah, because a bunch of crap going in is not healthy and focused. You want focused thinking. All right? And that's what we teach, is focused thinking. Thanks. Asking for a friend in Australia. Here's Chris. Ledford, male, United States, 50 years old, 5'7", 220 pounds, huh? Little bit on the heavy side, I'd say. Tremor and Parkinson's. Okay? So remember, going back in our discussion with him, fructose is essential for brain or neurons, right? So when you have to convert glucose to fructose, that's an inferior move. That's like converting a protein into amino acids. You have a process, and that process always, particularly the proteins to aminos, is that you've got acids involved, and then you got alkalis. You got a kind of a whole process involved there. And then you have the byproducts from all that has to be eliminated, right? So the same thing. You want fructose. That's essential. Without... I can just tell you, I've had a lot of experience with Lou Gehrig's, Parkinson's, MS. Parkinson's, to me, is the hardest one. Can't tell you why, particularly when you're on Cinnamon or some type of anti-spasmodic that is highly addicting, like cocaine. You just have a hard way of going. Man, you see that with Michael J. Fox. I watched an interview years ago, and here's a guy, everybody's clapping, he's up at the awards and he's doing nothing. Really? You're doing nothing for your health, and you're focusing on the AMA. I know his Parkinson's group, and the AMA will have a cure down the road. Really? There's no cure allopathically for anything ever. Focus is wrong. So how can you get a cure when you're living in the illusion called disease world? That's the problem. You have more pharmaceuticals, never a cure. Naturopathically, you always have a cure, unless you take yourself down the rabbit hole too far. You know, that's the problem. We're focused on the cause of things, not the effect of things. That's like chasing, chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Good luck. So, to me, if you're into a Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's, or MS, you're 100% fruit diet, period. And we have one case, although, God, we've got videos. It's just getting them from this place. I've been filming a lot of our cases, but wife died, and getting them from him has been an impossible dream. But to show you, and we have a little bit of one on Morse.tv and regeneration area of Lou Gehrig's case. She was modeled. She was a singer. She couldn't talk or sing, of course. Modeled 7 or 8 brain lesions. In 5.5 months, I have her up pushing her stroller, talking and singing. 100% fruit diet, period. End of story. And, of course, the magic botanicals. Brain and nerve circulation are good to get things moving in that area. But where are you going? What's causing these problems? I don't care what you see. Neurological, hepatic, liver, lung, heart. I don't care what you see. Everywhere you go, what do you see? A bunch of cells, structure and function. And who takes care of those cells? Blood and lymph. Period. End of story. So which side of all this is causing the problem? You could have genetic weaknesses, myelin sheath weaknesses from what? Adrenal glands. So adrenal glands, a bunch of cells, and 2 fluids. So what's causing the problem? And this is going back to your lymphatic system. I don't care where the problem is or what you see. You can get into endocrinology. You can look at which glands are involved. You can look at the neurotransmitters or lack thereof. You can look at the parathyroid and calcium problems and nerve transmission. You can look at these things. And, of course, I would. In a Parkinson case, I'd be after the endocrinology completely in the body, but I'd be after what, number 1? Lymphatics. And that is going to bring me to the adrenal glands, neurotransmitters, but that's autonomic. How did I get brain lesions? Acid cytochemistry again. So which system is involved? Lymphatic. And you want fruit for the what? Fructose. Vegetables, you can sit in a chair forever on vegetables. Although I had that one quad, he's on there. Got good bone regeneration. I'm telling you, scoliosis, pulled himself straight. His fractured leg, which is 2 inches shorter than the other one, he was bulging in his femur. Pulled itself straight. But that was on vegetable juice and fruit juices. He never got the nerve regeneration that he wanted, and I went into bankruptcy and couldn't help him anymore. And then he went off his program because, I couldn't help him anymore, so you go off your program? Yeah, no comment. I feel and broke my radial head on my left arm almost 4 years ago. It fractured my arm. Also, I took off my sling and my arm started to shake. Neurologist said my MRI was normal, but DaTscan wasn't. Since then, they said I have Parkinson's. I don't believe a word of it. How can I help my arm to stop tremors so I can drop this bogus claim? All right. So, coming back to this, you want to look at your parathyroid. You want to look at your pituitary. What are you? You're 5'7". I'm going to say you probably have a slight pituitary weakness. Parathyroid. Take a look at this spine. Use neurolymphatic points. Start someone working down your C-spine, down your back. Also lymphatic. You want to repair your arm. You want to repair it. That's parathyroid. Probably a little look to your pituitary. And looking at this, you want to get on a herbal program, add hitchhike parathyroid. And I would probably double the endocrine gland formula, 2 dropperfuls, maybe 4 times a day. Don't be afraid of some of these formulas because I double or triple dip. I know it's portability issues. So, within that reason, that's where glandulars can come in and help pull you up out of that. But I submit to you probably have parathyroid issues going on, and I submit to you definitely adrenals and kidneys and lymphatics. And just in this small communique here, that's what I think you see here. If you have full-blown Parkinson, you've got brain lesions and things like that, but same way. You fix everything the same way. And that, that's too simple. The University of Simplicity. That's what we should call ourselves instead of the International School of the Healing Arts. We should say the International School of Simplicity. This is the problem. We think that there's a complex here issue, and then we need a complex system of treatment. No, your body's not complex. Could it be? Man is only narcissistic enough to think they even know half of it. You got your astral counterparts, your mental counterparts to all these cells, all the chemistry in the body because they are atoms. You get into this. Everything's frequencies of electromagnetic energy. Get out of that and you're into consciousness. Look at what quantum physics said. You can break atoms and everything down to pure energy, right? And then what did quantum say? Pure energy is intelligence. It's just backing yourself up to the God worlds, I like to pull yourself up and look from consciousness into the creation instead of looking from the little self to what? I don't know. I'm just identifying with my little self. The physical forms, the forms that I'm using. You're just using forms. And who are you, the user of the forms? So, get in there. But again, you want to go to that all fruit. Go to that toe on Morse.tv, regeneration of tissue. Look at the toe. That was all done. Connective tissue, bone, tissue of all time. That was all done just on fruit and herbs. Don't be afraid of that. A frugivore gets all that they need from the fruit kingdom and fruits and berries. But granted, you've got to have good fruit. You got to have good fruit, and this is the biggest crime of all, is trying to find good fruit. It's horrible. Luckily I'm getting some mangoes, but the owner of our building, she's from India, and she was telling me some of the Indian mangoes, and I'm going, God. And she planted mango trees on the outside of this. I'm in a Y complex with a big gym sitting out front. And she put mango trees and was going, ooh. She said, well, don't you pick them. I'm going, what? Of course I would pick them. My son already went out there and picked some. It's like, oh, that was last year. We're not quite ready this year for him. Okay, so here's Gary, a male from UK, 58 years young, 5'11", cancer of the lower gastrointestinal tract, suffered chronic pain for 30 years. Jesus criminy. So, which side of chemistry is pain generally found on? Excuse me. The acid side. So to have a cancer means you have diagnosed with a cell that's been beat up. I want to beat you up. Well, what side of chemistry likes to beat you up? Alkalis like to hold you like a mama. That's why I call the alkaline chemistry the female chemistry. That's the love side, baby. That's the electrical side. Makes you feel good. Anti-inflammatory, anti-pain, anti-spasmodic. Acids are spasmodic, so they're the things that causes these things. Take a look at acids. Look up cationic and take a look at what the symptoms would be from that. 30 years in pain. That's sad, isn't it? That you have to live 30 years in chronic pain. But I don't know where that pain was, gut or whatever, but look at iridology. You know, we teach you, and you see that in iridology. There's always seems to be a gut ring. I'd rather say, instead of an autonomic nerve ring, I'd rather put a gut ring, right? Because that's your interstitial gut. And for some reason, it piles up there more so than generally other places. So not only do you always synonymously see a malabsorption ring, but that gut ring, and depends how thick that is, you're sitting there with acids that are stagnant. They can't even go out the bowel wall. That's where you see the herniations, you get these polyps and things like that. Not only internal, but how about on the outside? You got polyps popping out on the inside of your intestines, you got them popping on the outside. And then what about herniations like diverticulums and stuff like this? The loss of calcium. You see the same thing everywhere you go, whether it's interstitial along the bowel wall. That affects your cell's ability to absorb. Remember, you have your larger cells with holes in them on your gut wall, clogs all this up, blocks absorption of nutrients. But then what does it do to the cells that surround, that create the intestinal wall? Oh yeah, ulcerates them. So we got IBS, we got Crohn's. All these things they're just different levels of the same problem. That's the problem. In an intellectual modality like allopathy, everything is individualized and on its different road to Hellville. It's a different disease. When everything is a bunch of cells, interstitial spaces around them, and two fluids, blood and lymph. Kitchen, sewer system. So which makes sense? Your kitchen's backed up or your sewer system's backed up? Kitchen's backed up, you're in big doo-doo. It's like this lady with all these syncopes and all this stuff. Her kitchen's backed up too now. I suffered with chronic lower back pain. All right, so there's the lower back pain. What's lower back? Kidneys, prostate, uteri, ovaries, testes. That's your lower back. Everything lower is lower. L4, L5, from that down, kidneys. L4, L5 is your kidney vertebrae, and you're going to lose them. You know, it all backs up. Everything just backs up. And the vertebrae, of course, is your channel for blood, nerve, and lymph. So, you know, you start getting into all kinds of herniations, compressions, blah, 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 blah. So no one was able to help this poor man. 30 years of lower back pain, and that's kidneys. You got bags under your eyes. In 2015, I had my cirrhotic fused. Yep. You know, so you're getting fused because you're losing your spine even. The operation made my pain a lot worse. Oh, doesn't that seem to always happen? I hear this all the time. Laminectomies and all this stuff like this. I was taking diloflex, pregabalin, paracetamol. That's how good I am at pharmaceutical names. That's about it. I also take, there's another one, for anxiety. Jesus criminy. See, you're living in pharmaceutical world, and you can't get out of it when you live in the pharmaceutical world. So he's taking some medication here, venlafaxine, for anxiety. Now, where would the anxiety come from? You guys, come on. You guys are all the smart ones. Tell him where the anxiety comes. Oh, the adrenal glands. Oh, and the adrenal glands are where? Oh, on top of the kidneys. Oh, and the kidneys are the eliminative organs of what? Your sewage. And when sewage isn't being eliminated and it starts to back up, backed up, what do you get? Pain, swelling. And then you see the inflammatory response. Medical doctors blame inflammation for the problem. Really? Sickos. And a few other pills for high blood pressure. Oh, Lord! Well, let me pop my suitcase open and take my daily pharmaceuticals. Oh, and none of them have side effects. Holy crap. Let's take another one for the side effects from the other one. Remember I was telling you I was up on the cardiac floor and I was looking at the heart monitors and talking to the charge nurse, and we were watching this one lady going down. I mean, she was going down. You know, I forget, she was getting heart pauses, and her normal sinus rhythm was about in the 50s or 40s. I mean, she was going, right? So one of her medical doctors came in, and we're going, your patient's going down. He opens up her chart, and he just started cussing up a storm. He said she's on 25 or 6 chemicals, medications. I watched him sit there and called every one of her specialists, and they DC'd every one of them. And we watched her blood pressure, we watched her heart rhythm and everything going right back up as that whole day transcribed. She lived. They were killing her. Stupid. And because of that, humans are dying all over the friggin' place. But of course, I guess they're part of the group that doesn't want you to live anymore. Pfizer. So bad stuff, bad stuff. High blood pressure. Oh, where does high blood pressure come from? Oh, kidney and adrenals. So you've been sitting right there where your problems are. The medical doctors have no clue. They're looking everywhere around there, but your kidneys are the big issues and the adrenals on top of them. So you're seeing the hiccup. You're seeing your high blood pressure, your anxieties, all that's coming from where your problems are. So to fix everything else in the body, I don't care if you're up at the heart, I don't care if you're in the brain, I don't care if you're in the lungs, I don't care where you are. Prostate. You got to have a prostate swollen on this one. I have to tell you that. There's no way you can't have prostatitis with all this. So this is all the same place. So when you're on high blood pressure, do you eat protein? Oh, it causes high blood pressure. Oh, but they told me to eat all the protein I wanted. Oh. This time I had meningitis. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. So you're backed up all the way. Your lymphatic system is backed up all the way into the brain, man. And there's only one way out of this picture. And that is you got to look at the medical professor and say, you know what? You're taking me to Hellville on a fast train. I need to get off of this train to Hellville and get on the one to Wellville. Let's go. And to do that, you got to get on a fruit diet ASAP. If you have a salad midday for a month or something, fine, but get into an all-fruit diet. Challenge your self-discipline. Matter of fact, each one of you challenge your self-discipline. This is between you and you. Oh, you and you. It's actually between you and your bodies. You as awareness, and your mind, which likes to control your awareness, and your emotions, they love to have their little heads up. But I get it. You're in creation where these are your bodies that you experience through. Without these, you can't experience creation. Consciousness can't experience, the infinite can't experience the finite without having a vehicle to limit its ability to handle it. I mean, it's impossible. That's why you have bodies in creation. She visits the ICU several times, believe in that. I have problems with my stomach and blow out after nearly everything I eat. Yeah, you're inflamed everywhere, man. You're inflamed everywhere. You got to slow everything down. I'd get on our zero capsules and try to get all that inflammation, stomach tea, things like this, maybe even drink the Hillall tea, and really start getting getting all this inflammation out of you. But your problem has always been right in your face. No one's been able to tell you that. Kidneys and adrenals. And from there, boom, everywhere. I have been vegetarian for 20 years. Didn't help, did it? In the book on the fruitarian, I've got the many faces of vegetarianism. Been through it. I mean, I started out with the natural hygienic community, a very vegetarian-oriented group. But within that group, you have your fruitarian thinkers. I had stool samples taken, and now they tell me I have blood in my poo, which relates to lower gastrointestinal cancer. So, which relates to what? Lymphatic stagnation, and that means you have acids stagnant in these areas that are chewing on your cells. The cells aren't sitting there and going, I think I'll be a cancer cell today. Yeah, I'm not happy. Yeah. No! They're just sitting there going, I have to take what I'm given. I have to take whatever the blood brings me, but, oh man, I got to poop. In this case, constipation is the side that you're having trouble with, and that's constipation lymphatically. That's just acid sitting there chewing and chewing and chewing. If you want out of this, you got to hydrate properly, means you got to get on fruits, berries, melons, and maybe some a salad once in a while just to keep yourself balanced. But you're 58. Get your self-discipline up there. Tuck it up, man, and get on this, and you'll get yourself to Wellville. Get that train turned around because they've got you on everything else. When do you wake up? Like we read this one, a couple of years ago, this lady was on 30, she's seen 33 medical doctors. And I asked her, when did you ever decide that they didn't know what they were doing? After 33 of them? I don't care where you go, Cleveland, Mayo, who gives a hoot? One might be a little more aware. You'd be better off to go to an old country doctor out in the woods. I'd really like some advice on how to help my body to heal and come off of my medication, at least have a fighting chance of survival. Hell yeah, man. Gary, you hold the keys in your hand. And that is your ability to have self-discipline. We're giving you all the tools, and the evidence is we've cured so many people of these things all over the world that hopefully that reputation is there for you to sit on. And then all our students are curing people all over the world. That just shows you even more how simplistic this is, and that you don't have to have a college education to be able to cure people, because the books don't even have it right. So, wake up if you have to, take our school. It's not expensive. Our classes are not expensive for what you learn. And get yourself powered up. Get yourself where you're excited about your journey to Wellville. And get your train, go off the train to Hellville. You're on these medications. Most of them can be dropped pretty easily. Your blood pressure can come down, but you've been having this for 30 years. You can imagine, I can't imagine not having a big swollen hypertrophied prostate, cholesterol problems. I could go on down the line of things I could see going on here. So you want to be real careful, bro. You're walking down a dangerous road on all these chemicals. There's no way to come out of it. There's no way. So you got to turn that around, grab your you-know-what by your hands, and take that self-discipline and go down that road. This is Karen, male, from the United States, 63. Boy, there's a lot of 50s and 60 years old in this. I'm getting down, though. This only have a couple more, and then we get a whole new set of them. So I'm doing pretty good. I got to cut it off here in a little bit. Here's a 6'2" gentleman, so we know there is a pituitary involvement, whether you're short or tall, 280 pounds, little on the heavy side. Pancreatitis, gallbladder, kidneys, and lymph nodes. And so out of these four, Pancreas, gallbladder, kidneys, and lymph nodes. Which one's causing it? The kidneys. You're right, you're having kidney problems, right? And those are the organs of elimination. Someone else, family friend or other, in 2022, skin cancer, surgically removed, no chemo, no radiation, had to remove 3 lymph nodes and broski, noski. He had 3 lymph nodes removed in his neck. Holy Lord. Well, what do you think those lymph nodes were for? Just sitting there looking pretty? No. They're your septic tanks to a bunch of cells, so you're going to see some lymphedema from that in your face sometime or another. And 23 kidney stones. Know those damn things. Pancreatitis and gallbladder issues. Again, all these things are lymphatic involved. They're all acidosis involved and lymphatically involved. Got news last week that the next set of lymph nodes are showing affected. Doctor wants to remove more nodes. Oh boy. Oh good. Yeah, I don't want to. But I got to listen to my doctor. Do you? What can we do to reverse the newly affected lymph nodes? They're not. Listen, these guys are way out there on the train to nowhere land. They're falling down the rabbit hole as fast as you can go. They're now deemed the top killers of humans, especially since the vaccines. These guys sit on the top, a major killer of humans. Keep taking your lymph nodes out. So imagine, if you will, I don't know, you're 63, you should have known this, what a septic tank is for a house. All right? Would you, when your septic tank is full, call a guy up, SOS, right? Same old, SOS, come on, you got to remove my septic tank, it's full. How would you like to remove your septic tank at your house and you keep using and flushing your toilet? Guess what's going to happen, right? And that's what's happening to you right now. And now that they removed 3 septic tanks, how about the houses on the other side of them? What's going to go on there? You got cells that have to remove their waste. How do they do it when the system that removes waste is taken out? Oh, they can't. That's where you see lymphedema. That's simple. So these guys are crazy, crazy jacks. You want to go after your kidneys. That's where you're having problems anyway. You want kidneys and adrenals. You want to start draining your lymphatic system, hydrating, getting these lymph nodes to drain out. And there's only one way a lymph node can go down and drain out, and that's, the kidneys and skin. Because if you can't get your kidneys filtering, you're in deep trouble. And your lymph nodes will start swelling everywhere. And this is in the neck, and guess what's up above that? Yeah, your mind and awareness. So, be careful. I would say, you know what? I've learned the truth about lymph nodes. You've taken 3 already, and I'm not letting you take any more. Get on a total raw food diet, particularly if I'm doing this. I'm going grapes, grapes, grapes. You're 280 pounds. Might be a little self-discipline needed in this one. Go after your fungus. Get yourself on our protocols. The protocols are there. Western, I think, has them. We have them here. Jason, my son, at the health clinic. We got protocols everywhere. You got GrapeGate. You got, 50,000 people there to help you. You've got a lot of help if you need it to wake up to what you have to do. But ultimately, you need to go on a grape diet or some type of fruit diet and get these lymph nodes, because those are the fastest. These are the fastest foods to hydrate and get your kidneys to filter and your lymph nodes. Filtration, filtration, filtration. Remember, filtration. You want to see this in your urano, or you're in trouble. Newly affected. Oh, these are affected nodes. This is a creepy, crawly, nasty thing. What? Oh, it's just my sewer system backed up. Oh, and my kidneys control that. Oh. And what do I do about pancreatitis and gallbladder that keeps flaring up? I am so bloated and inflamed, tired and fatigued. The same thing that's going to clean your lymph nodes out is going to clean the pancreas out and the gallbladder, because where's your problem? Interstitial. That's where the itis comes from. Itis is inflammation. Itis is acidosis. But it makes sense. Your gallbladder and liver, it says in your liver too, my friend, not just gallbladder. Your pancreas is just across the street. So everything, even your gut is involved. Everything is involved down here, I can tell you already, to get up here. So you're in trouble all through your body. Heart, lungs, you just don't feel it yet. But keep going their route, keep removing lymph nodes, and pretty soon this will pop up, that'll pop up. How do you get rid of pancreatitis? You can take the pancreas out. Oh, maybe not so much that yet. Oh, you can move the gallbladder. They'll do that for you. Yeah, that's no problem. And then cut part of the liver off if you want. It's how you get fatty livers, fatty gallbladders. It's how you get all this stuff. Focus and get yourself on the right diet that hydrates and starts to astringe your lymphatic system. And get your kidneys filtering. I do 2 kidney formulas on top of an endocrine gland formula. I do a liver gallbladder formula. The GI tract is essential. That's why you see how we have that kid. I set this kid up not for anything more than to go into your body in a rhythmatic manner and go after all the tissues involved that create all the swelling and all the breakdown of cells. Get that focus and you'll show yourself that you'll do well. I don't know about the 3 lymph nodes in the neck. If you're that focused, which at 63, 6'2", 280, I don't know how focused you can get. Challenge me, man. How focused can you get there, Karen? But other than that, of course, the fatigue and all this, your adrenals are down. Of course, you got to have prostate too. I mean, all this stuff is involved because you have a system down. And that system is your sewer system. And your lymph nodes are your septic tanks. Keep that in mind and go after that and you will be successful. I got to go. One more. All right, this is Kim. She's a female. She's 52. She's from Canada. She's 5'1". Big time pituitary weakness. Big time pituitary weakness. Well, you can guess all the other endocrine glands are down too just from that, because that's a real hypofunction, probably a chronic pituitary weakness. But let's go on. Nocturnal seizures. So, again, you got pituitary. Where else could we probably go here? Parathyroid glands, a lack of calcium utilization. So you're going to affect your calcium magnesium matrix, your bone matrix. You're going to affect a lot of things. Nerve transmission. Same problem though, because you only have the body's just made of cells, structure, function. They're just sitting there listening to what they were told to do. That's your genetic consciousness. That can change because you can wake up the mind. You can get it out of its genetic slumbers. That's the power of consciousness, right? Power of creation is both sides. Degeneration and what? Regeneration. To sit there and think that creation's one-sided is asinine. That's a kick to the divine. Divine doesn't make one force. It has 2 in creation. It's the only way creation can exist. Outside of that, everything becomes the one again. So I started having seizures in 2020. Before that, I worked out regularly, didn't drink or smoke, and felt I lived a healthy lifestyle. Isn't that interesting? So we feel like we live a healthy lifestyle. We become vegetarians. We quit the dead animal crap and all this stuff, and we still have problems. And it shows you that we're true frugivores and that we need a higher level of food intake, but also understanding the focus of what we need in the body. That's why the sweetheart botanicals. Any herbalist out there that thinks herbs are made for diseases, you're living back in the 17th and 18th century. Wake up. You know what? Your botanicals are for body parts and fluids. And you can see that well. And using them that way, in an appropriate way, you're going to have high success because you have the best of the best that the divine has to offer to fix you. It's now up to you and your own self-discipline and finding the answers out there. And hopefully that's why we're all here. Spiritual beings bringing this stuff to the planet. I was on meds, but the side effects were horrible. Yeah, hello. So I discontinued using them in March 2023. I have had a seizure almost every month, so I am on discharge. I am so discouraged. I am desperate for help. First of all, you want fructose because they're neurons. You want to enhance neuron function, you have to do the fructose. Glucose, remember, glucose is converted to fructose in the brain, right? So what does that tell you? So now you need the fructose. That's key to help with seizures, number one. Number two, you'll tell you your pituitary big time. You want to get on a program that also hitchhikes the pituitary up, but I would get on a parathyroid glandular, at least a 50 milligram, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., definitely. Then go on our detox programs. Deworm yourself, defungal yourself. At the same time, you're picking up your endocrine glands. You're also going after kidneys, big time, and the adrenals on top. You know, this is how you get well. This is how you get down to Wellville. You get focused. You understand the teachings of what's going on here. If none of this worked, we wouldn't have the success that we have. We wouldn't have the reputation that we have. So understand that you have tens of thousands of humans been on these programs for years and very successful. Some of you are working hard through these things. I get it. Some of you are very advanced. I get it. But it doesn't change the path. The pathway doesn't change. It means you have to be more strict or more focused, or maybe, find some other herbs or some ways to counter and work through these things. But outside of that, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. When someone gets too edemic, or when someone was this and that, you got to be smart about too much juices, too much water, too much this, too much that. These are all how you get naturopathic wise. It's through seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands of people. You get naturopathic wise in how you navigate. I've always said that naturopathy or detoxification is an art. It's an art because you have to know how to move yourself through this. But you got to jump in the water if you want to get wet. So you got to jump in, and this is the same thing. I'm grabbing an all-fruit diet, fruit and berries and melons. You want a salad once in a while, but that's not going to help you much. I'd also add what? An antispasmodic. Our antispasmodic is excellent. You can throw a pinch of pepper in there if you want, cayenne pepper if you want. But this is what you want to do to work with an antispasmodic. You'd add brain and nerve. I'd also add circulation. I know these are two add-ons a lot of times. I've added the brain and nerve on our protocols up front. Too many nerve problems. And of course, autonomically, what are we looking at? Oh, the adrenal glands on top of, the eliminative organs of the lymph system, the kidneys. So there's your neurotransmitters. You probably have low blood pressure or high, which is low. That sort of thing. So that's how you win the game here. And I would take that antispasmodic daily, maybe a half a dropper full 3 times a day along with your other herbs. But get yourself on a focused program. But your parathyroid pituitary has to be a part of that, because calcium utilization, without that and a weak adrenal glands, you're losing your myelin sheath and your nerve transmissions. So, you can get all kinds of things like that. Don't get discouraged. Get focused and get self-disciplined. Don't get discouraged. You're now knocking on the door of truth, all right? You got a lot of people on the train to Wellville right behind you and right with you, so you're not alone in the wilderness anymore. But now you're learning truth. Now you got to apply it. And the application of it is your self-discipline, your ability to go, I get it. Because if you don't get it, you don't like what we say, go somewhere else. Good luck. I got one more. Can I do one more? Okay, one more. That'll be the last one. Okay. Hamza, a male turkey. So I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Not good at foreign names. Turkey, huh? Oh, he said the Turks. When the Turks military comes, everybody steps aside. Here comes the Turks, baby. Those guys are known to be tough. Yeah. 37. Regarding the order of detoxing. Myself, hello, Dr. Morse. I have chronic bowels, brown around the iris. Any orange? Sulfur's orange, but brown, yeah. And you see that a lot of blue eyes with brown right around there. Chronic gut stagnation of the lymph system. But again, remember, no matter where you see it, my friend. It's the kidneys and adrenal glands that are mainly responsible for that. Don't forget the skin, but kidney and adrenals, there's the big players in this world, in the lymphatic system, and that's what that is, chronic buildup of lymph. Probably got it from your mama, son. And would like to know if it's better to focus on the bowels before attempting to heal anything else, or it's okay to focus on several. I tell you what, those people that take one herbal formula at a time, going to focus on this and that, they're very rarely successful. You want total focus, and that's diet too. You know, I had a poor priest. Well, he was really wanting to do allopathy and naturopathy, and I said, man, you know what a barbed wire fence is? He goes, yeah. And I said, you're sitting on it. You know? Don't be afraid. Understand that allopathy is ignorant in these worlds. Ignorant in the system of the body in terms of lymphatic and what damages cells. They don't have your answers. They can give you pharmaceuticals that help with the symptomologies, yeah. And then look what happens. You have all the side effects from those. So absolutely, you want to get yourself focused. Same thing here, bro. You want to get yourself focused. You want to go right after it. Kidneys, endocrine glands, everything works together. Very rarely do you have one thing sitting over here working by itself. Blood and lymph flows everywhere. So yeah, you want to focus on bowels, but bowels, wait a minute, they eliminate undigested or partially digested or digested matter, right? Well, what about your sewer system? That's not your bowels. And what about the sewer system in your intestinal walls? Yep, kidneys and adrenals every time. They are your cellular waste eliminative organs, not your digestive waste eliminative organs. Your stool is your digestive waste, but your kidneys and adrenals and the skin are your cellular waste. And the lymph in my case, absolutely. I'm unsure if the lymph herbs will be absorbed in my case. And there's always that thought. And I suppose you could make that argument that a lot of the herbs and foods that you're taking are not going to be absorbed readily, but you got to start somewhere. And I've never seen anybody that is even heavily malabsorbed not start getting benefit as you go along. And you can even suck down the Heal All tea, all of this. Remember, we go to Dr. Morse's Cellular Botanicals. That's where you get all this stuff. But it doesn't matter. You're going to have the draw in the bowel wall. The bowel formulas are going to start moving the mucoid plaque off. You're going to get better absorption, but you're looking at interstitial. And interstitial is kidneys with the adrenal matrix and, that whole 9 yards. You don't have height or anything just to see if you have pituitary or anything, but that's why I've got these programs. You can augment it for your financial needs, but to see where I've got this laid out, and that's the focus, that we get everybody well. I don't try to throw any herbal formulas in there you don't need. I don't do that. I live by extreme ethics. That's why everything that I try to say is truthful and from my heart. If I don't know it, I'm going to tell you. I'm not embarrassed that I don't know something. Not at all. Or I can't pronounce a word that long, or your name. I'm not embarrassed with that. Not at all. I'm pretty secure and I know who I am, but I'm on a planet far, far away. So go after this, and you'll do well. I like your thinking. Go after it. That's the way I am. Even in the military, you go after it. You go in, then you get out. You do your mission, and then you get out. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. And grab your self-discipline. That's all I can say. I grabbed mine, but I was in love with it. I knew this was the answer. And that's why I'm trying to bring you science and everything together and to show you the simplicity of it. So you go, that just makes so much sense. And that is when you got it. Then you got to work it. It's one thing to understand something intellectually, emotionally, but it's another thing to work it. It's like consciousness. If you want to understand who you are and where you really come from and all this stuff like that, you got to get out of your mind which is totally a conditioned instrument. You got to get out of your emotions. They love to play the games too. And your physical body, it's just such a limited organism. So that's becoming the observer of life. And that's when you start to see things you never knew existed before. The more you're in the now holds all your answers. And that present moment is all your answers to everything. That's why people that do the mushrooms, that's why people that do these things are seeking that now. But all you have to do is learn that you can cut off the mind by being the observer instead of the thinker. Gotta go. Love you guys.